All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stump. We do it every Wednesday, 3 p.m.-ish on the church fold-out chairs in the 98.1 The Max studio. To next week, I got Joy Bomb coming in. For real this time. I really got Joy Bomb coming in. We pushed him back because I had scheduled this. We scheduled this a couple of months ahead of time.
Yes.
And there's no time like the present. But if I'm trying to plan something for 2-3 months in advance, good luck. That's my fault. But we have one part of a band here in Memphis that is, I believe my girlfriend saw you guys for the first time at Mary Beth Fest about 2-3 weeks. It's got to be a month ago now.
Yeah, that was August 3rd.
And she just goes, "Holy crap. What the heck is this?" Yeah. Ryan Saucier from Lipstick Stains.
What's up, Facebook world? I forgot to mention, I'm going to be doing that the entire time. It's going to be obnoxious.
We could be anything. We could be obnoxious. I mean, as long as you don't aspire to be on Saturday Night Live, I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, my dreams are gone.
Yeah, we'll keep the cursing and the racial epitaphs to a minimum. Yes. But this is really cool because I've wanted to have you guys in here for a minute. Right. And obviously there's 3 members of the band, Jacob, Eric, and Xanthi, that can't be here today. Yes. But they have real jobs, and they have to work these real jobs. I mean, who would have thunk it? But I appreciate you getting off and coming in and talking with us today, man.
Definitely. Didn't want to miss it. It was funny beforehand because, originally, Eric and Jacob, thought they were supposed to be here. So it was just like Xanthi was the one that we just knew wasn't going to be able to make it. So we thought it'd be funny if we went online and ordered a busty blow-up doll, put a shirt on, and plaster, a picture of it on her face. And just pretend that she's in the room. But then afterwards we're like, oh man, do we have to get 2 more blow-up dolls for Eric and Jacob? We were like, let's just leave it out. It's just going to be me.
No, you get 2 fleshlights. You get 2 fleshlights for them.
Oh man, that would have been perfect. See, I should have mentioned this beforehand.
All good, all good.
Next time.
You plan accordingly, but man, no, it's awesome because one of the things I mean to say, I don't know. It's just seeing you guys is just like, it's like all that pissed off anger that you may not had when you were a kid is just coming. It's punk rock, it's rock, it's a little bit of metal, it's everything. And Xanthi, I wish we'll get her in here eventually.
Definitely.
But the message that you guys are sending, especially in a time like now, I mean, if you're not looking at some of these T-shirts, number one, the name of the band's Lipstick Stains, which is a badass name to begin with, and the back of your T-shirts, respect women, hail Satan.
Yes.
I don't know if it gets any better than that.
Yeah. Originally. That wasn't going to be the new T-shirt idea.
Really?
With the hats that we have, we were planning on going with that and having it filled and everything, kind of keep it simple. And Jacob, who designs our artwork, our drummer, we were showing up for practice, and he was just like, so I came up with another idea. Let me show it to you guys. And just immediately, both of us, especially Xanthi, was like, oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. I don't know if we have to spend extra money with, buying them. That's what we're going with. So I'm glad that we did. People seem to love them. And also, first time, we heard you. Since we did them in white the first time, we printed them out in black and will be available at the shows in sizes from small to, I think we went up to XXL this time.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get everybody in them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes, that was a mistake we made. I remember because we only printed mediums through large, and then we realized, well, a lot of the guys who listen to us are extra larges and XXLs, and we're asking for that. And then a girl came up and was like, "Don't you want girls to wear your shirt?" Yeah. And I was like, "You start buying some smalls, bro." I was like, "Okay, looks like I got some smalls."
We made that mistake the first go around because especially when being a newer band and you're starting to get merch and everything, and you kind of have to guesstimate on okay, who's going to really be interested in buying merchandise, especially T-shirts from you. And we did not get enough smalls the first time around because we didn't think about how many women wanted to buy the first design and everything that we had, and we were just like, those are just gone now. So we're like, okay, so now and with this being our third print, which we get these done and the hat done. We got them done at West Tennessee Print Company across from the High Tone. Great people.
Oh, of course.
And we make sure to be careful every time. With the last one, we paid attention. I'm like, okay, what sold the quickest? What do we need? And just paying attention to that. So I think this go around we'll be able to make sure everybody gets one that wants one.
That's awesome, and it's a lot of, and I mean printing like sometimes just being the coolest part of being in a band is having a T-shirt of your own.
Oh, yeah.
It's just awesome. But like sometimes you put the cart before the horse. So like printing the T-shirt before you even had a live show, I admire it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's actually what we did.
Yeah, so you guys did. You started printing T-shirts. And
yeah,
then
we had the T-shirts before our first show because I was just like, no, I want merchandise at our first show. I don't care. And it worked out. We did sell some shirts and everything. But I mean, it is kind of with playing music, and at times it is you just got to trial run and take notes and then like just learn.
Yeah.
So it's just like I was like, I don't care. I want T-shirts at the first show.
Especially like getting advice from other people. Sometimes it's just like, yeah. I'm listening. But I'm too stressed out to see if this works out. So I'm not really listening to you right now.
Definitely. Even if like people are being like genuine and not like giving that advice where it's like, well, you really should. And it's like, okay, that's just your opinion. You're not really giving advice, But like people, like you were saying, actually giving advice is like you're listening.
Yeah.
But you're still kind of like, I don't know what to do. Should I do that? Should I not? And I kind of feel like at the end of the day, just kind of do what you want. You know what I mean? And just be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
I kind of, and much like how Negro Terror was, and their message, and they're just the name ripe for the times.
Oh yeah.
Lipstick Stains, just the name and the attitude, and coming off the Me Too movement. Xanthi getting up there and saying like, "This is my body, you son of a bitch. Don't you talk to it." Like,
definitely.
It's just, you couldn't script it any better.
No, and the thing is the way that Lipstick Stains came out, which she came up with the name.
Okay.
I have to, since she's not here, I have to give her props for that. She came up with it because when we were thinking of the name, we wanted something that was feminine, but not in your face feminine, just because it's like, oh, there's a girl in the band. You know? But also since we are a gritty punk rock and roll style band, we wanted something that had some grit to it. So when she was like Lipstick Stains, we were just like, yep, that's it. We don't need to think anymore.
It's a bitchin' name, man.
It. Yeah. And it is the way that it happened was kind of an accident. It was a show with Shamefinger, Walking on Landmines, and a ska band from Oklahoma called The Big News. And Walking on Landmines was opening, and it was when Adam Richards was still doing vocals for them. And it's getting closer to when they were going to start, and we were just like, where's Adam? And Shelby was like, he's really sick, and we're just going to do an instrumental set. And Shelby looked at Xanthi, was like, you could sing, you can improv, why don't you do it? And we just brushed it off as like a joke. And then I was just kind of like, at home you make up songs all the time to where like when you're done singing, I'm like, what was that? Like, and I just made it up. And I'm like, you could do this if you wanted to. Yeah. And beforehand she was singer-songwriter when she did music. So she's never been on stage when the amps are up and the energy is there. And so she went up and just absolutely killed it, and people that were there thought that was the band because she just did that well. And afterwards, that's when she was just like, hey, that recording project that you were going to do, how about we take those songs that you have and start writing, and I do vocals. And I was just like, I never thought you wanted to because you were more singer-songwriter. And I think she's like, not after that. And I was like, oh, you got the bug. You got the bug now. Like, it's just, because that's, what it is, that, adrenaline and energy and everything you feel on stage, it's something else. I mean, you know that. Yeah, it's...
Well, because it was funny because the first time I met Xanthi I think she was kind of like that, like the pinup look, and like the kind of like a soulful kind, like singer-songwriter sound to it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden one day, I came out and screaming her damn larynx off.
Oh yeah.
With Lipstick Stains, and I was like, I think it was the first show at the P&H.
Yeah, that was the first show.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. With it was Hardaway and Heels. Yeah. That was
the
first show, yeah.
And I remember I was like, oh, this is on. I think like this is perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool how it started. So it started like an impromptu show. It was just like a fill.
Yeah, because I never thought to ask her because at the time, I was just in a D We Digress, and I was thinking about doing a project playing guitar again because I missed it. Because
you played drums.
And ended band anthem because that was a different time in my life. I wasn't feeling that anymore. So I was just like, I'm done, but I miss playing guitar. And I was just like, I kind of want to step back from doing main vocals, focus on getting better at guitar and writing guitar and this and that. And then that's when Shamefinger asked me to join them. And I was just like, yeah, okay, 2 bands, I'll just, record this stuff in the studio and that'll be that. And because she knew that, that's why she was like, why don't I do vocals? And I was like, I never thought to ask because I didn't think you'd be interested, because like, yeah, she listens to all sorts of different music like I do. And she's, into punk rock and, heavier stuff. But, she never thought about it really until then either. It was just like, this was right in front of us the entire time. And, I think it's awesome the way that it worked out.
That really, I don't know, like a great thing start like that sometimes. It's just by chance. It wasn't supposed to happen. Then all of a sudden it happens, and you're like, well, it couldn't happen any other way.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. And you already have now. You guys are busy coming up soon too,
Yes.
because now you released an EP about a year ago.
Yeah, it was
Garter
around
belts
this
and
time.
yeah, garter belts and bottle caps.
Yes, garter straps and bottle caps.
Garter straps. Okay.
That was really just kind of like a teaser thing. Went in and did the instruments, and she did the vocals just to get the sound out there and to find members easily instead of, because sometimes it's hard when you're starting a new project and you're like, yeah, these are our influences and we're going to try to sound like this. And you get people in, but they had a different idea and you're just like struggling to find the right fit.
Yeah.
And I just think if you're a new band, you should at least, if not just one song, just a few songs or something to get it out there to help with booking and people know what you sound like, or if you need to find members and be like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what that was, and it worked out great. And we did plan on getting into the studio earlier than we actually did, but we were busy and time kind of just flew by. But this time it's going to be an actual physical release. We got 7 songs on there.
Nice.
Which the majority of them we have played live. We've been saving one that's on the EP that we haven't played live yet or anything. So we wanted something to at least be new to the people that have seen us and have been already following us, to where it's just like, oh yeah, it's all the songs that I heard live, and now it's just in a professional format. So it's just like, we got to at least sneak the one in there. So, we do have something new coming up.
Kind of make it a little special and a
Right,
little
right.
unique compared to the others.
Right.
And that's going to be, is this the one October 4th or November 8th?
No, that one's November 8th at Black Lodge.
Newly opened Black Lodge,
Yes,
by the
newly
way.
opened Black Lodge, which
Congratulations
is
to them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were throwing, I remember going 2 years ago to the New Year's party at Black Lodge,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. I think Dead Soldiers played their first show since they'd
Yeah.
broken up. And it was just, it was a banger of a party. And then
Yeah, I
it
think
just stayed empty. And I'm like, these guys are paying the
Yeah.
rent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nothing was going on. So I felt
They're-
bad. I was like, all right, come on.
Oh yeah, they're such wonderful people, and just kept trucking and kept going.
Yeah.
To where I'm so glad that they did too, because with going, actually seeing it the way that it's supposed to see, and all the attention that they're getting, which they deserve, is just absolutely awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy that Matthew was like, no, we would love to have your guys release here and everything, and working with us with that. So we're very excited about that. So yeah, it's for that it's $10, 21 and up. Friday, November 8th, and we have Walking on Landmines, These Streets Are Rivers, Shamefinger, and Heels on the bill, and then we're going to have an after party with the DJ, DJ Gilliam. So we're going to make sure that it's an event, because with
Okay.
Black Lodge shows, they're events, and we wanted to kind of keep that going with the show that we're putting on, to where, it's going to be pretty much an all-night thing. You're going to get your money's worth.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
because it's Black Lodge, I just see, during the shows, you have, a big projection screen
Yes.
of, old horror films and stuff like that while you
Right,
guys are
right.
playing.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
We've been talking about some things for production wise during our set to be behind there, and I think it's just going to be rad all around. Really, really excited about it, and that's one of the main reasons why wanted to come in here and talk to you, because wanted to promote that show.
Yeah.
Some new merchandise.
Yeah.
And then also before that is October 1st at the High Tone with Shamefinger as well. One of Xanthi and I's favorite bands, and Farmer from Shamefinger, is Red City Radio from Oklahoma City. They have definitely blown up the last couple of years, and it's kind of funny how that show came about. Because right after that, they're going on tour with Taking Back Sunday for the 20th or 30th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Of, yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for Tell All Your Friends. So I guess 20th. And
Is that the album with? And if you tell
Yeah,
all
yeah.
your friends, or just
Yeah,
tell your friends. Yeah, okay,
that
makes
one.
sense.
And Pretty much they just posted like, hey, where have we not been? You know, we're trying to sneak some dates in. And I just commented, not thinking anything. And a couple weeks later, the guitarist messaged me and was just like, what's the high tone like? And I was just like, well, if you guys were going to come here, I would say that's where you should play. And he's like, cool, we got this date on. The band you mentioned, you want to be on it? And it was just like, okay, I just got off work, and this is the first thing I see. Yeah, we're going to do this. And what's also funny is I guess they shared a story when the Flyers first came out and they were posting about it, is I guess they came to Memphis 7 years ago. And this is before they like really blew up and everything. And I guess they played to one person that drove like 100 miles to see them. And I'm guessing this happened at P&H because they didn't say what bar or venue it was. And they said that Mastodon played across the street.
Yeah.
And halfway through their set just walked through and just hung out in the back. So they were like, yeah, so that was that. So, you know, I wanted to make sure to get on here. You know, Xanthi and I have already posted up flyers around, you know, Midtown and Cooper Young and everything. But I wanted to promote and make sure that, you know, they're a hardworking band and they're really great and seem like really great guys.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that their second time coming to Memphis is worth it and it's going to be a damn good time.
Yeah, it's one of the most frustrating things is when a band from out of town that you like and you really want to show out for it, and like 3 people are playing, and then you're playing for just the band later.
Yeah.
We did that with Blackfoot Gypsies like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was like these guys like kill all across the country.
Right.
And they're playing festivals and stuff, and then they played one night and we're like, and we're playing for them.
Yeah.
And they're playing for us, and I'm like, it's one of those things. It's just like I don't know how to. I don't know if what the equivalent of is. It's got to be like it's like telling a kid there's no Santa Claus or something like that. I don't know. It's just like a weird, like disappointing
like that,
feel.
You know?
Like, oh, you heard from somebody else. My bad. You know, like.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome, and I hope it goes with Red City Radio.
Yeah, and real quick for anyone that has not heard them or listened to them, because obviously we're talking about punk rock, and obviously that's, you know, for a certain group of people. But the thing with Red City Radio that I have to add is they definitely pull a lot of influence from rock and roll and some alternative music, to where anyone that's listening that's not really into punk rock or anything, but into rock and roll type stuff, I believe that they would really enjoy them and should check them out, because they do a lot of harmonies, a lot of guitar leads that are very reminiscent of like Thin Lizzy,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. So it's not just straight up punk rock. Like there's a lot more to it, you know. So
Well, even punk rock, it's like it's just like the rock and roll. It's just like this weird, like you just say that genre, but meanwhile, you guys you have like punk rock guys like Frank Turner.
Yeah.
And he's like folk punk.
Yeah.
You know, it's
yeah.
it's kind of all encompassing. It's not the same thing as it always was, but I don't think it ever was.
No.
You're just trying to say that so you give like a weird idea.
Yeah,
It's fast paced and it'll get you moving.
Right, and that's the fast way to just say like, oh yeah, it's just punk rock, man. You know, but there's, you know, punk rock's subjective and all the genres are. It's whatever. We can talk about that for hours.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, they won't be crapping in their hand and throwing at you.
No, not yet. We're
yet.
not there yet.
God,
That's the dream, though.
that is the.
It's the dream.
You know what?
I had to bring it back right then.
You know, I still haven't done on stage yet, and I just because I'm just like feel like it's so. You have to be. I don't know. There's something like you have to be like a certain class of rock star or something like that. Is spitting on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever just like hocked one and
I've
spit it on, or just like blown a snot rocket.
I would never do that. I'd rather wait till like the end of the song and like go
Yeah.
back, like just like you know, whatever. But I know what you're talking about. Like see it in, you know, with live shows or watching like, you know, performance on YouTube or something. And there's just like sometimes just someone
Just
that
laying one out.
loogie just out there and stuff. Just like I don't care. I'd just be like, I don't know if I could do that, because I'd be like, that just takes the focus away from everything. Like, yeah, cool song, but dude, really, like,
Especially if you're a local band, and then like the owner of the venue's right over there, he's like, what the hell,
like,
man?
You know, we got to clean that up.
Yeah.
You know.
But every time I see it, I'm just like, man, that's badass.
Yeah.
I've never not seen a guy spit on stage and been like, man, that's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's like playing ball inside when your mom says you're not to. Just spitting on the.
Yeah.
I've never seen a comedian do it either.
No.
I've never seen a comedian just go a whole. And
You should be the first.
You got to be dude. I feel like you got to have a bone through your nose or something like that to be able to do that.
Yeah, like really pull that up. Be like, that makes sense from that.
Yeah.
You know,
No
like
tattoos.
Jim Gaffigan. No, that would make no sense. That would make no sense. But now I really want to see
Dude,
that.
if Jim Gaffigan just in the middle of like, well, the weather, right? And just spit one
that
out.
would be amazing. Just hot pockets, and then just loogie. And just I'm gonna make
Spits
that
in
happen
between a
somehow.
good bit about Hot Pockets and like how he has 12 children.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good. I like that.
Well, you guys did something cool. You guys went to Nashville.
Yes,
to film something.
that was our last show, and it was kind of a double whammy, and it was a lot of fun. It was Tennessee Sound Review, which is this it's a new series. I think at the moment web series. There's talk about it getting picked up from this or that. I'm not gonna say because it's not official yet.
It's not a thing till it's a thing, but
right,
I get it.
And pretty much what it is it's almost like MTV Unplugged style, but it's not unplugged, and there's interviews with it. So it's a short performance and a short interview just to kind of get to know the band and help promote. And originally, I believe it was supposed to just be Nashville-based bands, and they reached out to us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right.
The Tennessee Music Review, only Nashville?
Yeah.
Kiss my ass, man.
But they reached out to us, and we talked to them, FaceTime and everything, and finally got an official date and went out there. And it was in a studio in Murfreesboro, and it's a really new studio, and I just forgot the name of it. Starts with an R, but it's absolutely beautiful. They gave us a tour. I guess the drummer of Newfound Glory actually had a hand with help building that studio. I was thinking it was Chad from Newfound Glory because he lives in Franklin, because they had all this signed memorabilia and guitars and stuff. And so I asked about it, and they were just like, "No, it's Cyrus. We have another studio down in South Florida." Or whatever, so he came up here and helped, and I was like, "That's awesome." They're like, "Yeah, they're going to be rehearsing here and this and that." So we're like, "Okay,
it's random as hell."
Yeah, it was so random because I was just like, "We're in Murfreesboro," but okay, But
it's that Bonnaroo money.
Yeah, that's
bleeding all over to the rest of the town.
Yeah, we were very thankful to be there, and it went very smooth. I'm at this point, I'm still not sure when our episode is supposed to air or when the first one is supposed to air.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of fun, and since it was an afternoon thing, I decided to try to book a show that night in Nashville, and it was only like a month's notice, and I was just like, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I did, and that happened too. So we were there for a couple hours at Tennessee Sound Review, and then got to chill at the hotel for a little bit, and then drove up to Nashville, and then played a real gig. And made a little bit of money, and then went home the next day.
Where'd you guys play in Nashville?
It was I guess it's been there for a while. But it was like new management or something. It's called Rosie's Twin Kegs, and the best way that I can describe it is like a smaller version of P&H, I guess. Like it doesn't have the back area. Like it had like that kind of feel. But yeah, it was a good time. The bands we played with were really good. Sold some merchandise and everything. So definitely wasn't bad for our first time playing Nashville.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was good. Yeah.
It sounds better than art. We played a backyard.
Yeah.
At this place called The Review.
Yeah.
I think it's the Review. It's a record store. And we're like, oh, we're going to play in a record store. We're like, oh, this is awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
I found a really cool record of, what was it, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. God. Oh, my.
Wrong guy to ask for.
It starts with T. Oh, my God. Oh, this is going to kill me. Someone's saying it right now.
Yeah, looking
won 4 Super Bowls.
And
Super
very
Bowls.
judgmental too. They're looking at us like they think they're men.
If it was only anyway, he did a Christian country album and was like it was $2. But we ended up playing in the back in the backyard, which I didn't know. I didn't know record stores had backyards.
Right. Yeah. It's like, well, it's Nashville. We do.
Yeah. It was yeah. Well, because it was like a house that they converted to a record store,
right?
Which I always thought was a cool thing because
yeah.
It's like if you had a dream of, man, this would be screw my living room. I want to turn it into a record store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought we were playing inside,
awesome.
And we're like, yeah, this would be awesome, man. It would be kind of it's very, very Empire Records of us,
right?
And then it was in like in the back it was the day after 4th of July and it was like 98 degrees out. That's brutal.
Yeah.
A P&H sized bar. Rosie's Twin Keg. That sounds a lot nicer. Was it in East Nashville?
No, it's actually south. It was actually, it wasn't far from downtown. Like you could see downtown, but it was from where we were staying at in Murfreesboro. It took us like 25 minutes to get there.
Okay,
so it wasn't far. We did end up in East Nashville because Cobra Lounge is a really cool bar.
It's a really cool bar.
Yeah, so we went up there and hung out and played some pool afterwards, but. I was trying to get something in East Nashville because I like that area, and but they posted something, and I guess it was weird because they only do shows at the end of the month. So it worked out. They were like, we're looking for another band, and I saw the date, and it was August 31st, and I was like, well, that's when we're there, and I was like, well, I'll message them, see what
What are
happens,
the odds?
and check my email like 2 hours later, and they're like, all right, you're on, and I was just like, well, that was easy. Okay, cool.
When you ask them, do you send them like like some of your music, your Bandcamp, and all that stuff?
Oh
Or
yeah,
you
I
just,
always do.
All right, cool.
Yeah, definitely. Just because I mean, like with the way that I look at it, with either promoters or venues, bars, whoever you're trying to book with or anything, I feel like it just makes it easier on them because you don't know how much traffic they're getting.
Yeah.
To where it's just like, okay, cool, you just told me about yourself, but I don't know what you sound like, what you look like, this or that, whatever. Like, pretty much just nothing like a press kit at all whatsoever. And it's just like, well, now they have to do extra work to, see what you've done.
And if they're getting
what you sound like,
yeah,
and this and that, or see if you're going to fit the bill that night. So it's just like, if you're going to be sending emails out or contacting people, just get all your information on there and just make it easier on them.
Yeah, having a press kit or something like that, just to number one, don't be afraid to ask because Because I mean that's just how the game is played. Yeah. And what are they gonna say? No, or they just don't respond? I mean, you just hit the pavement. But not having something, I try to tell. I don't tell bands. Bands told me to do this, and we're like, okay, that's what we're gonna do.
Right.
But get all your stuff in kind of like centrally located and send it in a nice little pack, and that way they can make their mind up for themselves.
Right.
Really cool idea. It was Joey Killingsworth came in here from Josephus and the George Jonestown Massacre. Right. He said it was a very clever idea. Is don't ask venues out of town through. Just say you're the booker.
Yeah.
Or you're the manager.
Yeah.
Don't say you're a member of the band.
Right.
So it kind of gives a little more credence and a little more
right.
A little more of a heavy hammer. Like, these guys are for real. Whatever. I mean, whatever trick you gotta have. I mean,
yeah.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
No. Yeah. I mean, it's competitive. It doesn't matter what genre or anything. I mean, it's competitive. So I mean, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world to say like manager.
Yeah.
It's not hurting anybody.
No, and I mean, it's not like cheating, but it's kind of gaming it a little bit to get yourself because getting people to the show is hard enough, but just getting the gig in the first place, that way you have a chance.
Oh yeah, and I mean just with Memphis alone, it can be because we're like a little big city, and we actually do have a thriving scene. Like there's. Especially, I feel like within the last year or two, there's just been so much popping up, and it's like so great. Yeah. But now it's like, oh man, everything's like kind of booked up. Like it's weird, kind of seeing that transition to where you can easily book a show, if you need to, like a month in advance or something shorter, or month and a half. But now it really seems like if you want to make sure that you have a good show with a good lineup and have people come out and everything, like you got to do it months in advance.
Yes.
It's like you have to, and it's. I mean, at times because it seems like at first like it's a bad thing, but it depends on the way you look at it. I think it's a good thing because that means like something's happening.
Yeah.
Like, people are going out there, people are doing it, and people are being active with their music and their art, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Of all different genres, not just punk rock and metal, hardcore, like the heavy stuff, but
across the board. And what's cool about that is because it's not like, and because it was like that was easy to book a show a month or 2 months ahead of time, a year or two ago. There's more venues, and
that too.
It's still
There's
harder.
more
So which
venues,
means there's more venue, and which just means it just shows you how much is going on right now.
Oh yeah, and not to backtrack, but I forgot to say this, but the Tennessee Sound Review, a huge reason why that we got asked to do that is because of with being in Memphis, and I mean obviously people know there's different music, but when you think of Memphis you think of blues, rock and roll, Beale Street Barbecue.
Yeah.
Like you don't think about like, oh, I'm sure there's some really cool punk rock bands in Memphis. People that don't live here might not think that. Yeah. And that was the huge thing. Like, no, man, like you don't think of like when you think of punk rock, you don't really think of Memphis, or you think of metal, or this and that. Even though it's been here for forever, and there's been bands that have done big and great things, but it's still Memphis isn't known for that. It's not like San Francisco, L.A., Boston, New York, Chicago, or South Florida or something like that, to where you're like, yeah, that makes sense. They're from there.
Yeah.
So it's just that was a huge reason when they get on there to where it was just like, no, we want people to know that there's more going on.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like, but it's been going on, but. Well, we're cool. We'll try our best to represent. We'll do our best.
Absolutely.
But like that's like I think it's awesome that the music community and the scene has been growing so much lately, you know, to where it's like there's still bands that I'm, you know, just like I have not seen them yet, and I hate that I haven't seen them because there's, you know, so much
and
going
there's so
on.
many popping up.
Yeah.
And well, just to go back to punk, I mean, it's not like it was funny. I mean, Memphis, any place where you got it's hot, and there's a little bit of poverty and a little bit of a grind to it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
You're
great
gonna have
metal.
some-
You're gonna have
oh, yeah.
great punk and stuff like that. And there's
The
abundance
angst
of
is
both
in the
here.
air.
Yeah,
Like-
a good angst. That's like
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff comes out of like Savannah, Georgia, of all places.
Yeah.
It's muggy. It's hot. It's got a lot of poor areas,
Right.
and then because everybody always just sees like the astute, kind of like nice, square designed streets of downtown. But
Right,
meanwhile, I mean, people are stabbing each other outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not far from that.
No,
Not
it was
far-
speaking of
not
Cobra
far
Lounge. That's why I was like the last time I heard about Cobra Lounge. I think Heavy Eyes played there for a 420
that's
show.
such a good band.
And but like a month or two before, there was like someone was stabbed and killed outside Cobra, and was just like, I was like,
right.
"You guys are playing there? Awesome!
Yeah,
this
all
is
right.
good.
It'll be
This will
entertaining.
great."
No, that's not entertaining. That's not the right word I want to use. Like people stabbing each other, entertaining. Sign me up. I'll be there.
Just side note, someone talked to us about playing a Mexican bar here, like off of Summer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
People, one thing, I think the Mexican population does not get enough credit for liking rock and metal like they should.
Oh, yeah.
Because they love it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, if we can get more bands to go up and down like Summer.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like it's really not.
No,
Like,
I
think
mean,
about it, 'cause-
and it's a growing population here in Memphis.
Right,
They don't
right.
really get that much love, from what I understand or what
Yeah.
I've gathered, and if that's pure ignorance on my part. But I'm just like, yeah, let's play.
Well, I mean, to talk about that, you know, with, you know, watching footage of, you know, bands and everything from YouTube and stuff, and I've definitely noticed over the years shows that are in Mexico or in South America, and you pay attention to the crowd and see the energy.
Yeah.
It's so explosive.
Yes.
Like that's like one of my dreams is to venture down that way, just because of the energy and how crazy people go. Like it's just like they're just waiting for it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're waiting for, you know, a good show to come through or a good band, or just it's probably just like that all the time, honestly. You know,
you
And-
think,
and,
you know, like
yeah,
just by the
but-
footage, like of a
Yeah, and
like
it's
an
just
Iron
like-
Maiden, like, you know, was it live from the Beast? Like,
Yeah.
just watching that wave of the
Oh
crowd.
yeah, and it's just like that's wild. And then like you can, you know, watch a show that's in the U.S. and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see why bands are really traveling out of the country now.
Yeah.
You know.
Gotta have a clean record though,
Yeah.
especially going
Yeah.
to Canada. What are you doing, Canada? They don't let you in if you had a DUI or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. You're not a good band unless somebody in the band has at least one DUI. So-
I was about to be like, no, but well, no, I guess technically it is nobody in our band, but there
No.
is something close. But it's not my business to say.
I'm not
So
advocating for DUI. I'm just saying
No, definitely not.
good bands like to party and sometimes
Yeah.
get bit by the bug.
Yeah.
So all right, November 8th, we have the EP release.
Yes.
And where'd you record this one at?
Oh, that's right. We recorded with Alyssa Moore at Move the Year.
Nice.
Which is always amazing working with her. It's just so comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like if I can give any advice to any band, like first time going in and recording or something like that, don't worry about where it's at, like what big name it is or something like that. Like, just make sure you're comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you make sure you're going to get a good product and everything, but just the more comfortable you are, the easier it is. It just kind of flows, you know. And
Yeah.
working with Alyssa, it's like that. You know, we had a blast. We have Shelby from Walking on Landmines doing the mastering for it.
Nice.
And Xanthi, her younger sister, she's doing the artwork for the album. She's only 14 and she's so talented. And,
Really?
Oh yeah. She's super talented. Like it's amazing. So we decided as a band, we were just like, she's done a couple of our flyers in the past, were the ones that are kind of like psychedelic with a lot of colors
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That's her work. And we were just like, how would you like to do that? And she was just like, yeah, let's do it. So, I wanted to give a shout out for that.
14 doing
14.
concert posters.
Yeah, and
That's
now,
so
and,
cool.
And now EP album
Yeah.
artwork.
She's gonna have a portfolio before she graduates high school.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait,
And-
are you 14? You're still in middle school?
Yeah, right. I will. At least I mean, she's homeschooled. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Xanthi was homeschooled for the majority of the time too. Like, I think there's something about it because I was just like, I kind of wish I was homeschooled because like, you are successful at everything you do.
It's so funny you say it because we always make fun of. Like I always grew up making fun of kids who were homeschooled. Like,
I
what are
did
you
too,
doing?
like, when I was in,
you take your
like,
mom to prom.
But intermediate, middle school, like still very just. Dumb,
Never had a
preteen,
bad conversation with somebody who was
No.
homeschooled.
No, it's yeah.
They're usually more well versed, more knowledgeable, and
Oh yeah, just
and
more
probably
intelligent.
pass. Yeah,
just
more
overall.
intelligent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hats off. Hats off to homeschool kids
And,
getting a bad rap.
Oh yeah, like seriously, like I've once I've like thought about it that way when I was a little bit older and just having that memory of like, man, I remember like seeing a couple in the homeschool kids in my neighborhood just walking around. Like I never yelled at them or anything, but just with my crappy group of
Just walking out in the daylight when you're staying home from homesick from
Yeah,
school.
just like, look at this.
Look at the
kid,
Price is Right.
And it's just kind of like, why did I have anything towards that person?
Yeah.
Just like, just being young and stupid. But we all got to learn and we all got to grow.
Yeah, well, my brother decided to homeschool his kids.
Yeah.
And we were just like, oh, look at him. Okay. We'll carry on the tradition, huh?
Yeah.
But then they're like 4 and 6 and reading, I don't
Yeah.
know, obscene level, learning the piano. 4-year-old playing the piano. I'm like,
That's awesome.
good for you. You just do this all day? You just learn things that you want to learn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you play with the kids in the
sounds
neighborhood,
amazing.
so you're sociable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never put those things together. It was funny, Taking Back Sunday, I was talking to the bass player one time, and he has his kids in a Montessori school.
Yeah.
All these musicians, they're taking like these creative outlooks. They've been talking to people on the road and stuff, like
Yeah.
other people, bouncing stories, and they're raising their kids completely different.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
I think, yeah, I'm a fan. I
Yeah.
mean, as long as
I mean, if it works, it works.
can't shoot up a
And-
school if you never went.
Yeah.
Oh, too much?
I don't know.
No, I know.
We'll leave it up to Dave.
Ah!
He's not flinching, so it's cool. By the way.
All right, cool. Sometimes. I am drinking an obscene amount of coffee today. I am. So, you record listen, do we have a title for it?
Oh yeah, it's called "Open Your Eyes."
Okay.
And the reason why I went with that, we had a couple other titles, and they weren't bad or anything, but I mean, you know how it is with trying to name an album, EP, or song title or something. It's just like that's good. I don't know. And
Rather be dragged in the streets.
So even though it's
from a horse.
just it's not the most creative title, whatever. It's just with some of the songs that are on there, it kind of relates to a lot of what the subject matter in some of the songs are about and what we're singing. So we thought it was a good fit, and that's what we went with. So Lipstick Stains, Open Your Eyes, November 8th. And also with the previous EP, it's literally everywhere. Garter Straps and Bottle Caps. It's Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Lipstick Stains 901. Definitely post a lot from there. Try to keep everyone updated with everything as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. How was it? Was it? I know we were talking about being comfortable in the studio, but was it a little bit of a different approach as far as like, all right, you know your sound, you had a lot of live shows, you kind of like road tested a lot of stuff,
Yes.
been out of town, you recorded this stuff. Was it like kind of like a little more swagger and confidence going into this time than it was before?
I would say definitely because we just booked a weekend to do 7 songs, and definitely ambitious to where the way that we looked at it, we were like, okay, we have these 7 songs that we want to put on there, and if we don't get all of them on there, we don't get all of them on there, but we can, if we get to it, we have 7 songs we can record.
Yeah.
And the way that we did it is the first night we just went in and got everything dialed in and sound checked and everything, and we just let it sit. So the next morning, we just came in just ready to go. There wasn't like, okay, test the sounds, anything like that. It was literally like we hit the ground running, and you could just feel that everyone was confident and just ready to go and just knock it out of the park. And I think you can definitely hear that on the record too. Like there's definitely, you can hear the confidence, you can hear, how much we've already grown, and, being a band for, we've been a band for a year now. We waited till November of 2018 to have our first show, but we've been a band for a year. And, I think that definitely on this recording, you can just see like we've grown in all areas as a band, as musicians and lyricists and everything.
Yeah, I mean, especially in your personal lives too. I saw you posted yesterday, and I hope you don't mind me bringing it up, but I mean,
I knew there was a 50-50 chance that you were going to bring it up. So
and only because I admired, especially because I was booze free for about 8 years, and because I was just an absolute maniac in my youth. But you such a celebrated a year no booze.
No. It would have been a year.
Oh, would have been a year.
Yeah. I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
Now. I'm back. Yeah.
You're back.
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's what was ironic about it is, the way that the timings led up is, and which was amazing, which I didn't even know about it at first. Like Xanthi told me that, she was just like, this would have been a year, and I was just like, how did that happen? To where it lined up like that, and
yeah,
it definitely at first was kind of like, well, if I did not go back, I'd literally be celebrating a year of no alcohol.
Yeah,
and I can. Focus on it and just think about that over and over again and let it get me down. But it's just, I'm not going to,
As you shouldn't.
I'm living in the present, so it's just like, whatever. I mean,
I feel like an idiot bringing it up now.
No, you're not. You're good.
All right, cool.
You're fine.
You know what this is? You know what this is? This is a perfect case of me seeing a long post and then like reading like the first line, the middle line, the last line, and being like, "Man, I'm proud of you."
Yeah. Well, it was funny because before I went to work this morning, I wanted to make sure that I went ahead and posted that I was going to be on here today.
Yeah.
And right when I was about to do that, I was just like, "Oh man, you made that post yesterday." I was just like, oh man, I should have waited till Thursday. I just didn't not even think about it. Like, not so much of, if you were gonna, bring it up and talking about it. Because whatever. I mean, people are gonna ask. I'm gonna have to deal with talking about it. Whatever. I don't care. But it was more the fact of just like, I really hope no one thinks that was some kind of publicity stunt.
No.
So what I mean? Like that's why I was just like, oh no, I'm not gonna post.
No,
anything.
I don't think anything
but
like that.
At my break at work, I was just like, I don't care. People can think whatever they think.
No, there's one thing.
I'm gonna make sure that people know that I'm coming on here today.
Yeah, no, there's one thing that I like, and I like seeing it. I don't do it as much as I'd like to because I'm such a smart ass, but like the endearing share.
Yeah.
Kind of like just telling people where you're at. Like I always feel like that's what like Facebook is supposed to be for, like kind of sharing the tough times, not necessarily every time we go and get a lobster at like this, or look at this crab cake. Yeah. This is really amazing.
Look at it.
But sharing like the ups and downs and the struggles and moving forward and stuff like that.
I mean, that is the thing is normally with Facebook, like, I mean, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I don't take it seriously, but for the most part, I do use it just for promoting Lipstick Stains and Shamefinger, or just like, if I have a really good day or something, Xanthi and I take some photos, be like, I want to put that on, I'll put something positive on Facebook. You know? Like I use it for that. I don't ever really get personal on there, and that is actually why I decided to do what I did, because for anyone that actually pays attention to what I post and stuff like that, and realize like, okay, he's for real, because he does not post stuff like this. He does not get personal on his page, and I don't. Yeah. And so it took a second to get some courage to do it, but I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Next time I'll read the whole entire thing.
Yeah. No, seriously, you're good, man.
Like
cool. I said, I was just like, there's a 50% chance he's going to ask about it. I was already prepared, man. It's fine. Awesome. Lipstick Stains, Red City Radio, October 1st. October 1st at the High Tone with Shamefinger. And I believe it's $10 pre-sales, $15 at the door. So if you are planning on going and want to check it out, I would go ahead and get tickets beforehand. Thin Lizzy riffs on a punk band. Yeah, with a lot of awesome harmonies from the whole band. Like it's how many guys in the band? It's four guys. Four guys. Yeah, it's four bands in one. Yeah. But yeah, and then Friday, November 8th at Black Lodge with Walking on Landmines, These Streets Are Rivers, Shamefinger, Heels, and DJ After Party. That's also $10 for the whole night. So I feel like that's a good deal. Yeah. That's being entertained all night for $10. Yeah, and it's a big open venue too. Yeah. So and it's Black Lodge. Like yeah. Love how the name just kind of carries so much weight because it closed. I was here the night it closed. I moved here and like
3 or 4 months later, it was shut down, and that was like the closing party.
Yeah.
And people were just punching holes in the wall, and there were band. I think a Gory Tribe was playing that night.
yeah.
And like I walked in another room, and there were girls that were topless with black electrical tape over their nipples.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am not cool enough to be here right now.
Right.
Like I was just new. I was like, I knew this is not. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't know much about Black Lives, so it just every time someone said Black Lives is coming back, Black Lives is coming back, that's all I see.
Right. Yeah.
Is BDSM. And like punching holes in the wall.
That's amazing.
I'm like, I don't know if we're ready for this right now.
Yeah, I still don't think I'm cool enough to go here. But
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Lipstick Stains. Buy the merch. New black T-shirts. It's on this. Respect women, hail Satan on the back as well. As you should. I advocate for both of those. I mean, that's just a pigeon saying.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you guys are doing. I love the attitude, and
Thank
I
you.
wish you the best. And I hope I can't wait to listen to the EP when it comes out, and I hope to be at the show. And my man Ryan, Lipstick Stains, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, it's the Stump. We do it every Wednesday, 3 p.m. ish at the 98 The Max. Next week we'll have Joy Bomb in, and after that, I don't know. We'll figure it out from there on out. But I'm Ross. Thank you. See you.